So, welcome everyone to this wonderful YouTube live session. And today we have Dr. Nischay Nagori ji with us. So, talking about him, he is a doctor. Uh, he's passed out from AIMS. He's a panel astrologer for Art of Living, Jyotish Vastu Academy. And he has consulted more than thousands of people. And he has a strong hold on astrology, Jyotisha. And today we have taken a wonderful topic, which is Muhurta, the unseen hand of nature. So this is something which is really interesting, and we all want to know like how Muhurta is the unseen hand of nature. Over to you, Dr. Nischay. Thank you so much for coming, first of all. Yes.
Thank you. I hope meanwhile so many years you have seen, uh, some of you might have felt that for doing a certain task, when you have repeatedly done a certain thing, you have this sensitivity that this is the right time to do it. You are not knowing anything about Jyotish, anything about Muhurta, anything, but still you have this instinct that this is the right time to perform this thing. Okay. When you are in a learning stage at that time, you are not having any sensitivity of time. Because, for example, when someone is starting his journey into a new subject, so when he's actively learning, he doesn't recognize the time. He's just having, a flow-like state in which he is learning, constantly putting the efforts. But after a certain amount of years giving to that subject, okay, when this flow state is achieved, that this subject is no more a burden for you to revise, revisit, and learn. It is like a code which you have grasped. Now you know most of its thing, and you have repeatedly done the same thing again and again. So with time, you realize that now you have come to such a point that you have the sensitivity about what is the right time to study which topic of this subject. And this is seen in most learned and senior professors of that subject. So they have this sensitivity of time that, oh, this topic should be taught in this time, this should not be taught in this. We all have this inbuilt sensitivity. Even if you don't know the Muhurta, still you can sense the time which is running. And Muhurta is just an objective assessment of this subjective feeling which you are having, that how the environment around you is functioning at this current time or at this moment. So the term Muhurta itself is derived from two words, Muhu and Rita. And Rit is the word of Rig Veda which is giving rise to the word Ritu. And Ritu means seasons which are there. So you know that there is a particular season. In summer season, certain fruits are ripened, they come and they are good for our consumption. Then the seasons change. As the seasons change, our habits are going to change, our nature is going to change, our sleep wake time and everything is going to be affected. So, like nature is changing in the entire year, and you can feel this transition definitely, that now it is cold time and cold temperature has just came up, and you need clothes, more clothes to cover you to keep yourself warm. Your food habits change. Now you are not drinking the iced tea. Now you want some hot chocolate, hot coffee. Everything is changing according to your environment, and this is called Ritu in the Vedas. And when this movement of time is captured, like a snapshot of a year is there in one day, this is called Muhurta. The entire year's transition, you can see that, oh, this is the rainy season, this is summer season, and you know that what to do. You No one tells you that you need to consume some hot thing in this time, some cold thing in the summers. you automatically do it. It is a natural instinct from your end. Similarly, in the entire day also, there are times when you feel that this is the right time to do this thing, this is not the right time to do this thing. It comes with time, definitely not in an early stage, but with a growing age, you have this ability to sense the time, that what is the right time. So as we have the changes of entire years compressed in one day, so how to see these changes, that how the energies are interacting in the entire day, this science or this branch of Jyotisha is called Muhurta. So the movement of time into a day is called Muhurta, and the movement of time into the entire year is termed as Ritu. Okay, so that Rita in as a movement in a day is called Muhurta. Okay, now let's come to this point, that how this is unseen hand of nature. So let's go back to the concept of Srishti in the Vedas. So if we consider three devas who are governing the entire Srishti, so how Kal is created, Brahma creates, then Vishnu sustains, and Rudra transforms it again into its original form. This is how the things are running. So when Brahma created the Srishti, Vishnu enters into every particle of this Srishti and gives this Srishti a sustenance by making an order or a system. So Vishnu divides himself into nine such energies, and these nine energies are the nine hands of Mahavishnu. So they are like the limbs of Mahavishnu, with which he is constantly creating some order and changing some order in this Srishti. That's how he is sustaining it. So the Srishti which is done by the Brahma is set into some order, and then it is also changed from that order, and this is happening throughout the year, throughout a minute, and it will continue to happen. And how this Vishnu Shakti is actually creating different environments around us every day. This we can see and into every year. This we can see in this part of this branch of Jyotish called Muhurta. So you all know that there are nine planets and nine energies, and these energies takes different forms, and they gain some power throughout a day, and they lose some power in a day. And that's how we sense the time. When you are going to sit for study, suddenly someone came up, some work came up, and you are not able to do that task. Or whatever task you have taken, some obstacles are coming throughout the day, and suddenly there comes a time when you are sitting and it is happening. But this time which has lapsed, which could have been quite earlier, this lapsed time is because of the movement of that energy which is related to your birth. So you might have started that work, you thought to start that work, but that energy was there in an inauspicious position or a weak position, that it was not having its own result. That's why you struggled for some time, so that this energy gain its perfect position, and now it is happening. Okay, so this is the part of obstacle and smoothness which we feel throughout the day. Okay, and we can definitely see it with the help of this branch called Muhurta. So there are two things which are definitely acting on us. One is our own karmas. So everything is karma, definitely. The body which you have got, and so far the impressions which are there in your mind, the experiences you have collected so far, and the further coming time is also linked with your karmas. No doubt about it. So this is the biggest argument given by everyone, that if Muhurta is everything, that you check the environment and the energies and they are supportive, then the work should get done. So your karma has no role to play then. Okay. If Muhurta is everything, then there is no role of Jataka. That means your own horoscope, your own karma, dashas have no role. You just pick a best Muhurta and the work will happen. Okay. So why is it so that both the things are important? Now comes the catch. See, we all are here because of our karmas, and we'll continue to experience the different thing because of our karma. But the manifestation of karma is different according to the environment which is there around us. So the kala or the time which is running around us is, or the environment, the space which is there is definitely influenced by these nine energies which are constantly getting changed. Somewhere it is gaining strength, it is losing strength, it is becoming auspicious, it is becoming inauspicious, and this change is reflected in the environment. So any work which you are putting or which you have picked up, if you are starting that work in this point of time, whether this environment is supporting you or not, definitely has an impact in the quality of that work. But whether you will be succeeding in this work or not depends on your karma. If your karma is bad or it is not supporting you, that means howsoever the environment and energies are supporting, still at the end it will not give the results because the karma is against the flow of time. But if the karma is with the flow of this consciousness, it promises the success. That means initially, if you have picked some work when the energies were not aligned, it will have some difficulties, but eventually you will overcome this and you will definitely gain success. So the ultimate thing is karma. And the peripheral thing which is interacting with the karma is the kal or the time which is running on its own. So when you took birth, the snapshot of sky or how the energies were aligned in that time is called jataka. So that definitely has a strong link with your karma, and it is going to be there throughout your life. But throughout the life, the other thing, this kal is not stopped. Only you have taken the birth in that time. That's why your karma is reflecting from that point of time. But the kal will not stop. It will continue to flow. So the environment and your karma both have a sync at that time the things happen. Okay, sometimes your karma is there, but the environment is not supporting. That's how you face a lot of difficulties. I'm sure everyone has faced this, that you are about to begin a work of the office and suddenly you get a phone call and some distraction is it keeps coming to a point that now you feel that okay, uh, I'll start now, I'll focus on the work only, I'll not get distracted. And at this point, suddenly what happens, now you're not facing anything, it is getting done. So uh, before that, the disturbances you felt was the effect of environment. This is how both the things are governing our lives. So using this principle, we are going to study one thing today which you can definitely apply, and it has a universal applicability. So if you know the point of lagna, that every day there is one reference point of the horoscope that is called lagna. In your personal horoscope, lagna represents your body and your intellect, that how you are thinking, the thoughts which with the energy which is governing your thoughts, as well as the energy which is governing your overall body or mind is actually lagna. And this lagna is changing at every point of time. So the 12 zodiac signs which we see is actually going to, one of them is going to rise in the eastern horizon. That one zodiac sign at a certain degree which is rising in the eastern horizon is called lagna, and that lagna is the reference point which is deciding the strength and auspiciousness of each of the energy. So how is that energy of which you are doing the work is aligned according to lagna is very important. For example, you want to study. So what is the best thing which you can have? The guru or the Jupiter's energy should be there in the lagna. This is the best time to study, because now if you are studying, the environment is going to support you, and if your karma is also supportive, that you have a thing that success is promised in your studies, so your course of the study will get very smooth. If you are going to start a new learning, start by keeping guru in the lagna, so that will take care of a lot of things. But again, it cannot surpass the karma. It can give you an extra edge. Whether you will have a very smooth course of study or very difficult course of study is determined by the energy which is there in the lagna. If you keep Rahu in the lagna and you start a very auspicious study like Vedic studies or any other thing, you'll face a lot of difficulties. But if you are studying the Rahu's part only, for example, coding or anything related to computer science, which is its own domain, then it can help you. But in general, to start any new study, the lagna should have a very good planet like Guru or Buddha in it, and this definitely have a very strong impact on your studies. Okay. Now, second part is, so like that, if you we used to have the discussions in the earlier times on the Muhurtas of wars also, that when a war should begin, or at at what time, if you start or begin for the preparations of war, you will get success in that war. So for that, Mangal should be kept in lagna when you are going to start for that preparation. Okay. Any business related thing, you should keep Buddha in the lagna. Anything which you want to do for relationships, okay, so enjoyment, entertainment, relationships, or things which make you free, feel free, all these things are best supported when you keep Shukra in the lagna or Venus in the lagna. When you are going to do any work which need a lot of scrutiny, when you have to find out mistakes, you can keep Shani in the lagna. And when you want a lot of creativity, that okay, uh, I want out of the box thinking, you can begin the work by keeping Rahu Maharaj in the lagna. The best time to meditate comes when the Ketu is in the lagna, and natural dispassion is there. It is very easy for you to go deep into silence because you already have dispassion dominating over your buddhi, so it takes you beyond your intellect. So this is how different things are governed. When you want to do some caring thing for others, Chandra should be kept in Lagna. Any caring activity or seva, if you want to begin, Moon should be kept in Lagna. Okay. So this is how you select the energy in the Lagna and begin your work. And this is the first layer and very easy layer. This is going to have a big role because the energy in the lagna is going to be there in your head. So what was there in your head when you started this work? Sometimes you go back and you realize that what was there in my mind? Why did I started this work? Some people fight for a moment and then they look back and they say, why am I fighting? What was there in my mind 2 hours back? Why did I started this fight? This is because the energy is influencing your lagna. You don't want to fight, but when Mangal comes in your lagna, suddenly you have a drive. In the Muhurta lagna, you suddenly get a drive that I'll fight. Or at that time, if you have anything which is giving you some kind of aggression, it might turn into a lot of fire, and you feel this desire to fight, or you feel this desire to do some challenging thing. If you take any investment decision when the Mangal was in Lagna, there are high chances you can have a very wrong decision of some aggressive investment which might fail. And that's why this is the first step to check the Lagna and which energy is there influencing your Lagna. because this is influencing your mind, and not just your mind, it is influencing a global mind. In general, it is influencing everyone's mind. Okay. Now, is it going to influence you perfectly or not? This depends on your own lagna, that how this energy is aligned according to your lagna. But definitely, it has an impact on your mind. So, the basic thing which you can keep in your mind is which energy is there in the lagna, and taking that, you can start your work. Okay. So your work will definitely get that kind of ideas or that kind of thinking which you want to have. Okay. So this is first principle. Now second principle is that if you want to avoid any certain energy, where it should be kept. So from that lagna, it should be kept in sixth or eighth position. Okay. Sixth or eighth is anti position to that lagna. That means that energy will not gain that strength to influence your lagna in that. So when you have to start any auspicious Vedic activity or anything, what is the best thing? The anti energy to that is Rahu Maharaj's energy. So it should be kept in sixth place. And the guru must be there in the kendra, that means the four quadrants of the horoscope. And this is going to support you definitely for your work if it is related to Vedas or beginning of any auspicious Vedic studies. Okay. So if you have to avoid something, keep that in sixth or eighth. If you want to avoid the fights, keep Mars in sixth or eighth from the Muhurta. If you want to avoid anything, it should be kept in that position. And that is how you can choose that what is right now very important. Is avoiding a fight is really important, or anything else, any influence of other energy is important. Okay. So this is how we decide that which energy is going to support us at this time, which is not going to support us, and that's how we decide a basic draft of Muhurta. Okay. So this is a very basic thing which we have discussed today. Similarly, the time around us also is manifesting in the form of five elements. So you know the body has five elements, the directions around you has five elements. On that principle only entire vastu is based, that all the five elements in your house or wherever you are living, they should be in harmony. That's how the vastu is placed. The basic principle of every science, especially Vedic science, is based on the principle of pancha tattva, the five elements. They should be in balance. So if they are in balance around you, you feel many okay around you. But when they are not in balance, you feel disharmony in some aspect of life. If they are in imbalance in your body, you feel diseased. You are not at ease. That is what is called disease. When they are not in harmony in the directions, you feel some discomfort where in the place in which you are living. That's the principle of vastu. And when they are not in, when they are in disharmony in the time around you, that's when you feel some kind of pattern around you which you only can recognize. Okay. Suppose nakshatra is bad, that energy, that means that nakshatra is in seventh position from your nakshatra, so you don't feel energetic at that time. For that entire day you will feel drained. Okay, because vayu tattva is the main factor of energy. So you don't feel strength at that day, that how can I do this work? If the vara is the Agni Tattva. So that Agni determines that how clearly you are going to think, and what is the main impact which will be there on your intellect and on your body, definitely. So this is how the different humors, Vata, Pitta and Kapha are going to change with the Vara energy. On Saturday, the Vata can go more. It is on the basis of seasons also, but on the daily basis, it depends on uh, the Vara which is there. Agni is going to dominate on this day of Surya and the Mangal. Okay. In that Agni only, the Jala is going to dominate on the Monday and uh, uh, Friday. Okay, Akash is going to dominate on Thursday. That's why, for all uh, purpose of studies, when you want to have clarity in mind, the Agni must have the guna of Guru, and that gives clarity of intellect in your buddhi, in your intellect. That's why Thursday is considered auspicious. So, in the similar way, we can decide that what is the quality of five elements which are running around us, whether they are auspicious, inauspicious, whether they are supportive, not supportive, and this is how we can decide that okay, what is the best time for me to do this work or not. Even if you don't see Muhurta, still when you are meditating daily, you will have this sense. Okay, sometimes you have seen Gurudev usually take some time for starting any kind of yajna. Even after that is scheduled for some time. This sense of time is there in him. Very perfectly is there in him. Similarly, everyone who is going in age with the time, uh, they have this sensitivity of time. Okay, those who are meditating daily, they will also gain. So even if you don't see the Muhurta, when you will get that instinct, it will guide you automatically. I should stop now, I should do this, I should not do this. But until you get into that sensitive zone that you have time sensitivity, it is a good thing to see the Muhurta, that how the energies are placed at this point of time and how I'm going to do it. Any big decision like marriage, when it is happening, Muhurta is a very big role in marriage, because how married life is going to be again depends on your karma and your approach to marriage, how much commitment you are giving, what is your approach to marriage and to the life partner, also your karma which is there. But Muhurta makes the smooth very easy or difficult. So the energies, how they were aligned when you were going for a wedlock or for an agreement in someone's witness. So someone should definitely witness for marriage. It is applicable. It doesn't matter you're uh, having marriage like around the fire ritual, or where you are just signing a contract of marriage. Wherever you go, there is a witness. When you are going for an agreement in presence of any witness, this is considered as marriage. So that time in which a witness is there and you are agreeing for beginning this new wedlock, what is the pattern of energies which are present at that time? They give an extra edge towards a smooth course or a rough course of marriage. Marriage is not breaking, but somewhere it is having a very rough course again and again. And when it is not reflected by your karmas, your horoscope is looking very good. The Shukra is exalted, not in Dagdha Rashi, it is very good. No affliction is there. And similarly, in the other ones also, you are not able to find anything. And when we check the Muhurta at that time, when the wedding happened, it was not supportive. So that's how the two things work in synchronization. So whether you succeed or not depends on your karma and the kripa which you are having, the blessings which you are having. Okay, either you have the karma or you have the blessings. This will determine your victory or failure. But whether your course is going to be smooth or rough, this is going to be determined by the time at which you are going to start your work. And that's why Muhurta is important. Why? Because we want to have an obstacle free approach to our works which we are doing. Okay. So that's why we see Muhurta, and it is definitely nature's unseen hand which is working constantly, and it is going to support or not support. And that's why there are some time where we should wait, and there are the time where we should just do it. Okay. Even if you don't know Muhurta, you get this sensitivity with time. Don't worry. And when you check the Muhurta by knowing it and what you have sensed, mostly it has a synchronization. Both the things aligns always. Okay. So until you get this sensitivity with time, it is better to have a tool which can guide you about the day-to-day things in your life. Okay, that okay, this time is not supportive for this particular work, so I should stop. This time is supportive for this work, so I should do it now. And that's how you can decide the priorities of the day. Okay. So it makes a lot of things easier for you. So any questions which the audience is having?
Uh, there are few people here on Zoom also. They can also on their cameras if they have some question and they can ask.
Yes, definitely. Any question if you have, you
There's
may ask.
one question, like you have explained in detail about the Muhurta.
Mhm.
So, uh, if we are looking this much, it's enough, or there is more deeper aspects to it. We need to learn more about it.
See, there are two things. First thing is that we can, for any subject, you can just code it in a very capsulated manner. You can keep expanding it, and it can become very huge. Okay, so the entire Veda is having a Mahavakya. The Mahavakya is like the signature of that Veda. So, like Rig Veda is having Mahavakya Prajnanam Brahmam. If you know the consciousness, you know the Veda. This is one line of Rig Veda which capsulates the Rig Veda itself. The knowledge of consciousness is Rig Veda. But if you go for the deeper studies of Rig Veda, you know how much big it is. Okay. Similarly, o- this much knowledge that which energy should be there in the lagna or sixth or eighth from the lagna is also enough for some things. But if you want to expand it, the Muhurta science is very big. Okay, it can be expanded to a very vast course. So, what all things are really effective and important in this part, we are going to study in this workshop. So from tomorrow itself, we are going to have a workshop on Muhurta. If you want to know the secrets of Muhurta, you are most welcome. It is just a 2 day workshop from Saturday and Sunday, and we'll be having the timings in the evening, 6:30 to 7:30 to 8 p.m. in the evening. Okay, according to Indian Standard Time, and the recordings definitely will be available for you for sufficient time. Even if you miss the session, you can watch the recordings. We'll be having our discussion forum where you can discuss all your doubts and anything you want to ask. Okay, so everything will be there. So if you want to go a little deeper into this science and want to know about how the tattvas are manifesting around you and how the kala is manifesting around you, which energy is important to be seen for which work, all these things we'll discuss in detail in these 2 days workshop. Okay, and we have created a very capsulated course which is effective and definitely easy to learn. Okay.
I guess it's a wonderful opportunity so that everyone can learn about Muhurta. Uh, and you can go to our website. We have links in the description. There you can go or and you can fill out your details, your country, and register yourself. Let me ask Nishchayji one controversial question. Maybe
Yeah.
if you want to answer, you can, or you can drop this question. There is a belief that don't check Murata, just take the name of God. Everything is fine. So
Mhm.
there is always a battle between bhakti and going along with the time, going along with the Jyotisha. So a person who is a devotee, is the person above all these things? And how you will define this term a devotee who is completely surrendered, and or many people consider themselves, okay, I am like I'm the means my God is with me. What will happen then?
Yeah. So very nice question. See, you know that the rules of combustion are universal for everyone. If you put your hand in fire, you will get heat, and that heat will burn whatever organic matter is there. Prahlad, when was taken by Holika and was about to get burned, he was not burned. Okay. So does that mean the law of combustion has failed on Prahlad, or that it is not going to affect to everyone? Okay. So the law of gravity says that anything which is dropped down will go into the gradient flow of velocity of the gravity. Okay. But when Prahlad was, thrown from the cliff, he was not falling down. He was like, he was floating in the air. Mahavishnu was, holding him, and he was not letting him fall. So, so we need to understand that we all are having the nature's law existent around us, and they are universal for everyone. I am a devotee, definitely, but if I will also put my hands in fire, it will burn. The fire is not going to distinguish between the bhakta and a non-bhakta. It is not going to do any discrimination. Similarly, the Muhurta and time is also like the nature's rule by which it is happening. Like we have the laws of combustion, laws of gravitation, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force. They all are acting on us, okay, and they have an impact on us. Similarly, Muhurta also has an impact on us. But what is happening when you are into the zone of bhakti? It is the God's will to make you like to make that switch off for you or not. Okay. See, again, Prahlad was not deliberately going to climb or jump off the cliff. Hey, see, I am Mahavishnu's bhakt, I will not fall down. He didn't did that. He was just in surrender, and someone else was going to throw it, and that's how he was protected. Okay. So this thing we have to understand that when you are really going into some danger and you are into a prayerful mode, the prayers can work and definitely you'll be protected. But that doesn't mean you just go and willingly hug yourself with the danger. Okay. So it might happen that okay, there is a wire around me, and uh, I accidentally touched it, but because I was having some kripa, it didn't affected me. Okay, but now I am saying, oh, see, I have got some special powers. God is protecting me. Let me touch another bare wire. So this doesn't work. Okay, you cannot challenge the nature. But if you are in prayerful mood and this nature is the laws of nature are going to be against you, the God definitely intervenes and protect you. But it will only happen when it is really happening like an accident, and you don't have any control or will on this particular thing, and you are into complete surrender. It can happen. It has happened with many. Some people get siddhis. They get this thing that they can change this switch. If you read Mahesh Yogi's transcendental meditation and everything about it, if you meditate more, if you do Sahaj Samadhi daily, some people have reached this level that they can even modulate the natural forces. That is how yogis levitate. See, you all have that access, natural access. It is given elaborately in Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's works, and they have published many papers on it, how transcendental meditation works. Okay. So when you do it daily, you have this capability to switch on and off some natural forces around you. Okay, this can happen, and that's how people levitate. They learn how to switch off the switch of gravity, and that's how they levitate in the air. Gravity is there, but they have reached that switch. It is not acting on them, but that doesn't mean gravity will fail to apply on everyone else. Okay. So the special abilities, siddhis and kripa is a different dimension, but the natural law is different dimension. Okay. So they both cannot be mixed up. Say if you you are like somewhere you did some work in a very bad Muhurta, still it happened. So as I told you, ultimately it is a karma which matters or kripa which matters. But the Muhurta determines the course, that it is going to be very smooth course or very rough course for you. Okay. So that's how you can take it. So when both the things are good, like you have the karma, you have the kripa, and you have a best Muhurta, all the three things when aligned, it definitely gives you a smooth course and a smooth journey. So you don't get frustrated, you don't burn your energy into useless things, and the things becomes really good and smooth for you. So this is how you can take this.
It was very interesting. I guess people who are having a doubt, like, okay, I don't believe in all this. So
Hmm.
this is a correct answer. There's a very interesting conjunction point that I can see because in Ayurveda also it is told to do the things on right time. In Muhurta also it's there. So this
Yeah,
Ayurveda and Muhurta are linked somewhere. What do you think of this?
yeah, definitely. Ayurveda suggests a lot of practices and lot of procedures to be done in a certain point of time. See, seasonal variations we all can see because they are very obvious around us. And that's why the word Muhurta has the word Ritu in it. Rita, Rita. Rita means the change of seasons or the change which you can see around you. So seasonal change is very obvious. Now it is cold, now it is very hot. So this is also Muhurta only. Okay. See, it is cold time, you should do this. When it is a rainy season, we do not do certain things like going for a drive when it is heavily raining. So what is happening? Because it is heavily raining, you know you will not be able to see clearly. You stop for some time, wait for rains to settle down, water to get cleared, and then you start your drive. So this is how the Muhurta is working for you. So when you started your journey, it was a clear day, but certainly in between you got a very heavy rainfall, so you stopped for some time, then you started your journey again. Muhurta doesn't mean that it is something fatalistic, that a bad Muhurta is going to destroy everything or it is going to have an impact, because at the end karma matters and kripa matters. But it has an impact on the smooth environment, whether it is a clear sunny day or whether it is a very heavy rainy day. So that's how you know. Okay. Even if you don't know Muhurta, see, with time you get this sensitivity. Okay. And those who meditate, those who get the sixth sense more, they definitely know. They don't need to see the Muhurta. They are aligned with this. This is the time I should stop. This energy is coming into the lagna. I should not have any kind of argument with anyone. Okay. That's how you develop this sensitivity anyway with time. Okay. But if you can see this objectively in front of you, that definitely have a very good impact on
There's a very interesting question coming in YouTube. Shamant Pushkurji is asking for buying and selling shares in stock market. Will the Muhurta help?
you. Yes, Murata will help. See, what happens when you are buying or selling something? Okay, here also, when you are taking this decision to buy or sell has an impact on you. For example, right now you are trading and suddenly you feel that, oh, this is going to have a dip, and you just go for sale. But now you see this decision was reversed. So why you sensed it wrong? You were able to predict something right and you were not able to predict something right. This is because some energy is definitely playing in your intellect right now, and not just you. It is when it is there for some people who are over that place, they are having influence of this energy. Okay. So some people who take some wrong decision, okay, on that day, it is definitely because of some energy's influence on your intellect which is there running at that time. So some days are there where you can definitely avoid, because all these things are linked. The trading is basically the uh, work of Vayu Tattva. So nakshatra is having a very important role in all these things. So what nakshatras you can avoid from your nakshatra, this knowledge really helps, because at that day you will not face much difficulties, okay, when you are going for a trading. Okay. But at the end, see, when the market closes and overall when you have a loss or when you have a gain, it depends on your karma. But how you went through all this, you can have a right decision at each right time of dip and fall, of dip and rise, and you, by taking all right decisions, you can have a smooth journey till the time of 3 p.m. when the market is going to close. This can be one scenario. Other scenario is that you had some wrong decisions, then to cover up in the next thing, you just covered it by buying or selling something, or you covered it next day. Overall, you still earned something, but your course was very difficult. Okay, your course was very much restless. You felt a lot of stress in that entire course. So this is the impact of Muhurta. Okay.
I have a question, if I may ask, Nischay.
Yeah.
Sivan, you can on your camera. Yes, yes, you are there.
Yeah, my camera is on. Yes. I had a question in regards to your Janma Kundali and your Muhurta Kundali when you plot it. So, say for example, if you want to win over your enemies, so would you look at your Janma Kundali and look at your sixth house Lord and do it that and see where it is placed in the Muhurta Kundali, or you look at the when you're plotting the muhurta, that is your reference point, or your janma kundali is your reference point?
Yeah. So when you're taken this scenario of defeating your enemies, let's take court case as the best example. Okay. The other one is definitely an enemy against which you are fighting a case. So the sixth house, which is a prime house of all these things, have a major role to play. So when you are having a certain transit affecting your Janma Kundli, and especially your sixth house and sixth lord, suppose Saturn and Rahu are having a dual influence on sixth lord or sixth house, certainly it is going to have some, negative effect on us. So transit determines that this energy is not supporting right now, and the case filed right now might not promise you success until this transit gets cleared. So when the transit was there, you tried, never gained anything. Now suddenly you have some good benefic aspects on sixth house or Lord, and when you were going to have this thing, you got success. When you were having a Papa Graha transiting through it is a good thing. It promises the success to you. Okay, but how Muhurta is playing its role. So one thing we saw that how to see our victory, it is by the transits over the Janmat only. Okay, how Rahu, Ketu, Guru, Shani are affecting our sixth house Lord. They definitely has an impact on our decision making and events around us. Okay, success and failure, but how my force is going to be there. So when I'm going to start this case, for example, this case has begun today at 10 o'clock. This was the time given by the judge, and how, or you are going to draft this case, okay, start filing this case. So the energies at that time, how they were aligned, the Muhurta Lagna was in a benefic position or malefic position, it determines that how stressful it is going to be or how easy it is going to be there for you. Okay. So it might be a cakewalk for you, or it might be a very difficult, stressful task for you. Both the things depends on the Muhurta. But whether you will win this case or lose this case depends on the transits and dashas which are, okay. That is how both the things work.
Yeah, so that means you really have to look at both the things when
Yeah.
you're
So ideally,
planning
you
something.
are going or for a big planning, you should look both the things. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
helps.
Okay. Thank you.
Wonderful. So it was a great session. I guess everyone, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you want to do the more detail about it, you can check the description box. We have a link over there. You can just register yourself and select the country. Different country have different registration amount, so you can see it over there and you can register yourself. Thank you, Nischay ji, for coming and sharing this wonderful session with all of us. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And this workshop is starting tomorrow, so there is not much time left. So please, if you are thinking to register yourself, make it quick because time flies. And the right Muhurta is now to learn, so you can just register yourself. Thank you so much.